Let's go.
Hello
Yes.
and welcome to Trade Day from the UK, from the Miami Heat UK. We are not doing our usual game day. We'll touch a little bit on the Portland game, but who gives a fuck about the Portland game tonight? We are going to be talking trades. What a day it's been. What an afternoon. It's been an absolute roller coaster of emotions. But the bottom line is the Miami Heat have acquired Victor Oladipo and Nemanja Bjelica for Mo Harkless, Chris Silva, Avery Bradley, and Kelly Olynyk. That, to me, signals very good fucking business, guys. Danny, I'm going to start with you because on our last episode, we said, or you said, I don't want to be all in on Kyle Lowry and end up missing out on Victor Oladipo as a result. We was all in on Kyle Lowry, and it took us to about 3 minutes past the deadline to announce Victor Oladipo, but we've got our man. We'll come on to Kyle in a minute. First of all, are you happy with this? I'm sure you are.
Oh, absolutely, man. I was shaking, dude. I was so shook when it was. We were just saying in the lobby there. You know, I don't know whose tweet it was, but whoever tweet it was that said that Vic is staying in Houston, and we were like
Chris Mannix or something like that.
Was it? Yeah. And you know, we were no further along on the Kyle thing, and I was like, no, we fucked it. We've just got Bjelica, and that's it. Is that all we're going to get from the deadline? But no. 2 minutes later, we get Depot. He's coming to Miami. Yes, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy because, you know, I think I sent a tweet out saying there's 9 minutes to go. And at that point, I didn't know whether we was getting one player, multiple players, or no players. Ignore Bjelica for the minute because that was just a nice sort of throwing piece. But as a main trade piece, I was genuinely worried here that there was about a 45-second spell where I thought, we fucked this. We're not going to end up with anybody. We have done exactly what we shouldn't have done, which is throw everything in at Kyle and then end up empty-handed. But on the other hand, there was the same sort of hope that there might even be room here to do two, to get them both in. And I actually think that maybe the Heat had that in mind, that they was always going to look to do both. As it happens, go on, Sam.
Considering what we gave up for Victor Oladipo, I'm pretty sure they're gunning for both at that point.
Yeah, I think you're right. So John, the sort of business side of this, when you look at what we've given up to get through, to get Oladipo in, and obviously Bjelica as well, because that's a nice piece as well, to get those in, and we've still got all our player assets in tow still, even Kendrick Nunn. I mean, I can't believe that this sort of deal went through, and we haven't even had to give up Kendrick Nunn, let alone Duncan, let alone Tyler. This is A-star stuff from Pat, isn't it?
Yeah, I think this was a much better trade than if we got Lowry as well. Because if we got just Lowry, then that means we'd give up, let's just say that Hero will stay, and then we'd still give up Precious, Duncan, Iggy most likely, Kelly as well. But with Depot, we keep all of that pieces. We remove AB, who didn't play, Mo, who didn't play, Silva, who didn't play, and added Bjelica and Depot. So that was, definitely worth it.
Yeah, and I think that, when you look at what would have happened, I mean, there's no secret that Kyle was our prime target here. But we understand that going into the later stages of these negotiations, that Pat's offer hadn't changed from Iguodala, Olynyk, Precious, and Nunn. That was the offer. So even Duncan wasn't on the table until quite late. I think that it was about an hour or so before that they changed it to add in Duncan, and we understand that obviously it fell apart when both the Lakers and the Heat were not willing to give up their key piece, which was obviously in our sense Tyler Hero. Sam, we've done the right thing surely here. We wouldn't have liked to have scuppered any chances of losing Tyler Hero and what other pieces would have come with it to have acquired a 35-year-old free agent expiring contract in Kyle Lowry, would we?
No, absolutely, because we've kept our flexibility, and that's the one thing everyone was talking about when we started the season. And just seen a report that there hasn't been an offer or there wasn't an agreement for an extension for Victor Oladipo, so we still got that to deal with this summer. I mean, it just gives the Heat front office and the coaching staff an opportunity to prove to Oladipo why he should take a discount at this point, because they've got the next 3 months, and I'd expect them to go ham in terms of player development as well as just bringing the whole team together. But yeah, I absolutely love it. Like, we addressed one of the key things we've been struggling with this season, and we just needed a scorer, and that's exactly who Victor Oladipo is. Coming off injuries, giving us 21 points per game, and that's fantastic. I'd expect that at least that might drop a bit due to like usage and all that, but I expect him to be a productive player on the Heat. And with talks of Heat being active in the buyout market, we're completely targeting every single weakness we have, and I'm just absolutely happy because that's what I wanted to see.
Yeah, 100%. When you look at the deal that obviously we as I said, just circling back to it, we've given up nothing for a player who's averaging, as you say, 21 points a game, 5 rebounds a game, 4.7 assists a game, and this is on a team that he doesn't want to be on, want to be on. So he will be he will be the happiest man in America right now to be on the team that he has wanted to be on for so long. Sam, as I said, this also opens up with the business we've done today 2 roster spots. We expect one of those to go with LaMarcus Aldridge as well. But as I said, just this couldn't have gone better today, really, could it?
Nah, I mean, that's one thing that we've all said on the podcast and even the live streams as well. I think we're all up for LaMarcus Aldridge, but on the buyout market, and that's exactly where we're at right now. I think it's been reported that we're front runners at this point, and who knows, there might be another piece we could pick up in the buyout market as well. But right now, we're just completely happy. Heat did exactly what needed to be done without sacrificing much.
Yeah, definitely. When you look now that really we got in Butler and Oladipo for essentially, when you take out all the deadwood like James Johnson, Dion Waiters, etc., we've basically got those 2 players in for Winslow, Richardson, Kelly Olynyk, and Avery Bradley. It's just incredible. Danny,
and the funny thing about it, just piggybacking off what you said, the funny thing about it, Winslow had nothing even to do with Jimmy and Oladipo. Winslow is for Iguodala. Like that's how good those trades have been.
It's just crazy. Just that people that would always underestimate Pat, you just got to understand that he knows what he is doing. Danny, does Oladipo now become our 3rd best player?
Yep. Yeah, he does. It's interesting as well. You add one player, Victor Oladipo, and all of a sudden we have depth again, because we've got none coming off the bench now. Now I don't know how productive he's going to be, but I assume that he's going to come off the bench. You're not going to play those 2 together. So you're looking at a starting lineup of what? Depot, Butler, Duncan, Ariza or Bielitsa, and Bam. And then you've got all that depth. You've got basically all the young pieces that you were going to trade for a superstar still on your team, and you've got a superstar. It's perfect. This is literally the most perfect trade I think I've ever seen executed. It's incredible. So I am a bit sad because I do feel like there was something there to get both of those guys in. I was watching the Adam Bry on the stream that the 5 Reasons guys were doing, and there was a bit of confusion. They weren't really sure like what the hold up was. They thought something else was coming. They got rid of the roster spots in Toronto. Yeah, you could see things were happening, and unfortunately, we couldn't execute that. But that doesn't really matter, to be honest. I think this team is finals bound now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that he had this to try and get them both. It's always difficult when you're looking at a trade scenario which had Masai Ujiri, Daryl Morey, obviously with Philadelphia, and Pat Riley. These are all guys that are just used to getting what they get. They're used to winning. And those 3 in the same room, that was always going to be really, really tough. So it all came down really to sticking with your guns. And they wanted Tyler Hero. We wasn't prepared to do it. And obviously what fell into place. But you're absolutely right there. I'll just bounce off what you just said there, Danny. But you need to look at the roster now. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Victor Oladipo, Goran Dragic, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Kendrick Nunn, Iguodala, KZ Okpala, Bielitsa, and probably LaMarcus Aldridge. That is well and truly good enough to ride.
They're all players who can contribute, which is so important.
Exactly.
You know what's crazy? We always used to go on about a depth, but this is depth right now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's as I said, that trade was no risk and all reward. So great stuff. John, the idea will obviously be to extend this past the end of this season. I think both parties is well within their interest to be doing this. He's currently on 21 million. He turned down 2 years, 2 years of 45 million with Houston. Obviously, was always expected to do that because he didn't want to be there. What do you think is going to be a realistic number here? Because we will now have the issue of we have to now pay Duncan or let him walk. He can now no longer be traded. How does this sort of work out? Do we expect maybe a team-friendly deal here for Vic?
I think that depends on how he plays the last couple of months. If he plays as 2018 Depot, then yeah, you pay him and you have no regrets. And if he plays like a show of himself, then he'll have to take a discount. Or you could, you just let him walk and you have all the leverage. So I think it would just depend on how he plays. But it will be within that range, like 18 to 20 mil, I think.
Yeah, I think that's probably about fair, I would say. I don't know. I've never been great with cap space and so on, so I don't know what that leaves you then, because you'll have Bam and Jimmy on max money. Yeah, if we say, 20 million, say, for Vic, Duncan needs paying. I don't see we're going to be getting Duncan on the sort of figures that he might be thinking he was going to get earlier on this season. That doesn't seem feasible now. We'll see how it all works out. Just touching on Houston now, I mean, God, that deal that they've essentially dealt James Harden for what?
Kelly, AB, and pick swaps and picks.
Yeah, and or they had Karis LeVert and Jarrett Allen that they've then obviously moved on. So yeah, you're right. They've got rid of a superstar for a load of shit picks and Olynyk and Avery Bradley. That is mind-boggling, just incredible. Just quickly circling back, Sam, to Lowry. Will he feel okay about all this? I'm assuming he will. I think that his desire was to come to Miami. Apparently, this is what we're hearing, that his preferred choice was Miami. He sort of had this farewell game last night where he, put up a plus 42 game and said all his goodbyes and everything. And now he's back there again. They've got rid of a load of pieces to sort of clear the roster spots to make a move and then didn't make a move. I think he'll be okay that he's going to end his season in Toronto, but will he? Is there anything different here? Do you think won't see any sort of sulking here, will we?
No, absolutely. I think he would be pleased with the outcome of today because he's a Toronto legend. He's celebrated over there and he gets to finish the season there and then go into the off season with all the cards on his table. So I'd be pleased with that. Yeah.
Do you see there's any? I suppose there's no real chance now that he ends up in Miami if we're gonna sign with Vic, unless we do drop it and start again. But I suppose that sort of in a way ends that dream now, doesn't it, for Miami? It look like maybe we go back home to Philly.
I mean, what's that Pat Riley saying? They're obstacles, but they aren't obstacles, or something like that. I mean, with the Victor Oladipo trade, I might be wrong, but I believe we've got his bird rights, so that could be helpful as well. But yeah, you never know.
Yeah. What do you think on this, Danny? Do you think that who's going to be the happier here? That you think Vic's going to be happier, or do you think the Heat are just delighted to have the man that they've always sort of touted? There's been a long sort of queue of always wanting this to happen. I think there was some concerns over his attitude in the bubble that turned the Heat off a little bit. But both sides of disagreement now will be pretty pleased with their work today, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I think they're going to be both very happy because they both get what they want, right? Vic wants to be in Miami, and Miami need a scoring, playmaking, defending guard. They've got one. So, I think they're both going to be happy. I don't really see, just touching on your point about Lowry there as well, I don't really see that being a problem. The one good thing about all this and about Lowry's situation, the fact that he is still in Toronto, well, in Tampa, but Toronto, is Philly don't get him this season, so which is great, because that was one thing that scared me is, if we don't get him, are Philly going to get him? And then, I don't know if I want to play them anymore. So, that's one positive from Lowry not being dealt this deadline.
Yeah. Do you think John now is trying to work out sort of where he fits? I assume he'll just slip straight into point guard here. Kendrick will slip to the bench. That sort of makes the most obvious choice here, do you think, or do you see anything different?
I haven't watched Depot. I'm not sure if he's a point guard guy. and depending on his health right now as well, maybe just start him off coming off the bench and just keep Nunn in the starting lineup as usual, and just like easing him into the starting lineup throughout the year. Maybe
I'll say he's going to be immediately starting in the point guard role, but he's not going to be handling the ball. It's going to be Jimmy and Bam being the point guards, and they're just going to be introducing him that way. That's my opinion.
Yeah, no, I think I would tend to agree with that. I think, as you said earlier, Sam, I think it's given us all the things that we needed so badly. Another ball handler, another good defender as well, which we're light on, and some point scoring, some much needed point scoring. We've debated many times on this show what we think we need better. A point scoring, defensive minded point guard, or a number 4, a bit of height, some offensive rebounding, etc. Well, we've got the former, and if we can get LaMarcus Aldridge in buyout, I think that's this team is looking very, very sharp. There's a game on tonight. I don't know what the team is going to look like. No KO now. Obviously, no Mo Harkless, but that wasn't a problem anyway. No Silva, no Bradley. Bradley was just coming back to we think it was that questionable stage of whether he was going to start, and now he's gone anyway. We never really got to see anything of Avery Bradley. Sam, I'm a bit gutted about that. Are you?
Yeah. I mean, he could have provided two things that would have been important to us if he was on the court as often as we'd hope. I mean, he's a good shooter and he plays fantastic defense. I remember seeing a couple games with him on that his defense was on point. But yeah, we just couldn't get to see him. So it was just unfortunate.
Yeah, never mind. It's no longer our issue. We've got no Chris Silver as well, which means I'm gutted because I have a limited edition earned jersey winging its way over at some point from America with number 30 Chris Silver on the back, but I shall wear it proud. Chris Silver, I've got to just give him a little shout out because he didn't play, but when he did, I just loved his minutes. I loved his energy. I loved how scrappy he was. I think he's got a future in the game, and I think he's good at what he does. He's very raw. He's got a lot of things to work out, but I think he's a real good scrappy player. So it could be an issue. He's now in Sacramento. That it could be. He could take Hassan Whiteside's job once again.
Wouldn't that be beautiful?
I mean, I heard he's on a trade market as well.
Yeah.
He was. He didn't get traded.
Well, this is it. So he's obviously that would need to be a buyout. So we could see that Hassan Whiteside falls behind Chris Silver. Quick nod, Danny, to Kelly Olynyk. He's had his doubters, his haters, but on the whole, he's been much better than he's been bad for Miami during his Heat tenure. Yeah,
he's played up to his contract, I think. So. Good for you, Kelly. I liked Kelly. I've always been a Kelly guy, even though he does annoy the shit out of me sometimes. He's been good, and he gave us what we needed and more sometimes, because I don't think he's necessarily a starting caliber power forward, but he's been put in that role constantly for this team and delivered most of the time.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to miss Kelly. Yeah. But I don't care now, to be honest. Goodbye, Kelly. It's fine, whatever.
Yeah, soon forgotten. Yeah. A quick word, John, on Bjelica. I haven't seen much of him. I saw the game that he played against us not too far along, and it was a season high. Showed his shooting prowess, so we know what he can do. Is this any sort of upgrade, or is it just a sort of Spider-Man meme, you pointing at each other with Kelly Olynyk?
I think offensively it is that Spider-Man meme. I think I haven't watched him enough, but we know Kelly wasn't bad on defense. He was able to move good. So I don't know if Bjelica will be the same or worse on defense, but on offense, I think they're just both similar players.
Yeah, it's I'm looking forward to seeing him. I think that's again, he's quite tall. He's got quite a bit of height. So it's 1 for 1 there. I think it's pretty much, as you say, summed up quite nicely there with that Spider-Man meme. I think that's pretty similar, like for like. Look, today has been all a bit raw. I'm a little bit unprepared. I didn't do my normal notes and things because it's all adrenaline. So it's a pretty quick show tonight. I just wanted to do some raw emotion on how we're feeling. We're all buzzing about it. It's going to be really interesting now to see how the rest of the season goes. There is a game tonight. We're not going to cover the ins and outs because I haven't had time to look into Portland or anything with form and who's to watch and all that normal stuff I would do, but we will go around quickly and do our predictions. We've got to try and decipher what the team will be. Danny, I'll start with you. What are we thinking here? We're on the back of 3 straight losses, or is it 4 straight losses? I can't even remember. 4 straight losses.
I think so,
it's 4. I think
Yeah.
so. So we've been playing very much like a team that has had a lot of this on their minds. We'll probably see Duncan Robinson knock down sort of 80% from 3 tonight. We'll see what happens. But any faith tonight? Do you see this rejuvenated team, or do you just see this as get this game out of the way and take the L and move on?
Maybe a bit of a spark. Who knows? I mean, we're going to have a depleted team. It's not going to be many people. But to be honest, half of those weren't even playing anyway, so it's fine. We're going to just miss KO, I guess. I don't know. So I'd say a dub. Yeah, let's just go for a dub. I'm in a good mood. Let's go for a dub.
Love it. John, what are you thinking?
Same. Hero's playing probably, so that you want to have the trade over his head. Struce will probably get more minutes. Vincent will get more minutes. Yeah. So I'll say a win.
Love it. Sam?
I don't see us winning today.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Wait, I'm not their Blazers short-handed as well because they moved pieces.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Change your mind, Sam. Otherwise, I'll boot you off the stream.
I mean, I'm on the assumption that they're with their full team, but yeah, okay. I'm gonna switch that up. I think the adrenaline from today will be enough to get them over the bar, but it'd be just enough. I think we're a close Heat win.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going with a win. I'm not even going with a close win. I'm going on a blowout. Let's do it. Let's do it. We are riding high. Everybody is going to be buzzing. The 2,000, 3,000 fans that are going to be in the arena are going to be jumping. The noise is going to be brought. Yes, it is a home game. I think we're going to see some very relaxed Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero performances tonight. I'm buzzing for it. So I think that we're going to ride the wave. We're gonna end this losing streak. We're gonna win by 25. It's going to be great. So there we go. We'll see what happens. Either way, I'm not bothered. None of us are bothered. I don't care if we win or lose tonight. It's all about the future now, and we'll see what happens with this team.
Shout out to Wide Shut in the comments. A dub for sure.
Absolutely. Yep. Well done. There's a good contributor to this site. Wyatt is always involved with our with the comments and interacting. So shout out to you, my man. Guys, it's been a bit raw today, a bit emotional. As I said, just no real sort of rhythm to it, but we have rode the wave. I really appreciate you jumping on. We'll see how this season goes. We'll see where we get to. I'm really looking forward to it now. Victor Oladipo, Nemanja Bjelica are Heatles. We will see what happens. Good luck, Kelly. Good luck, Mo. Good luck, Chris Silver, Heat legend. And good luck, who am I missing?
Avery Bradley.
Avery Bradley, yeah. Forgot you even played for us.
Forgot him already.
Forgot you even played for us. There we go. Guys, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Miami Heat UK TV. We'll be on tonight, earlier tonight, 11:30. I'll be in the in-game commentary as usual. Let's get a Heat win. We'll see you whenever's the next game. Is it tomorrow, the next game? Are we on a back-to-back?
I don't even know.
I don't even know. Anyway, we may be back tomorrow. Who knows? But enjoy the game.
We've got another comment before we go.
Frank C. Like the show, writing from Miami. There you go. From across the pond. A bit of love there. Thank you very much, my man.
Yes, a back-to-back.
It is a back-to-back. Yep. So we'll be back hopefully tomorrow if we're all here. Glad you all enjoyed the show, guys. We'll see you soon.
Peace.